beginning with some concealer just because I thought that the white might not be too full coverage and I didn't want any redness showing through the makeup and distracting from the base, if that makes any sense. But that wasn't really a necessary step in the end. I just thought I'd include it in case you did have strong pigment or anything in your skin. So I'm just starting off with a white concealer. You can also use a white face paint, of course. The one I bought wasn't that great. I got like a cheaper brand, so I ended up just opting for my white concealer, and that works just as well. So I'm just going over my lip area and kind of the lower third of my face with that white. And then I'm going in with a black gel eyeliner. Again, you can obviously use black cream paints if you would like, but I found this one from Inglot to be so black and pigmented. I'm just kind of going in and making some shadow and dimension in the center of my lips, and then following that line up. You can kind of see what I'm doing. It's easier to just watch than explain in many ways. And then for the teeth, all you want to do is kind of carve out a little bell shape for each tooth and try to keep it nice and pigmented towards the bottom, and then just feather out the top of the tooth. I also decided to carve out the shape of the cheekbone here, so I'm just working out where the little hollows will be so that I can kind of merge in the teeth with them. I'm doing this all in a randomish order because I was just kind of making it up as I went along. So you can kind of carve out the face shapes first and then do the teeth, or just do whatever order works best for you, or you can follow this tutorial exactly. It's really up to you. Oh, and I didn't mention at the start, but this tutorial does use all makeup. So with the teeth, just keep going with the same kind of shape. For the molars, I tried to kind of point them out more and make the roots look a bit deeper, if you know what I mean. So they looked more realistic, I suppose. Then I'm just going in and filling in my eye socket area, being really careful to keep it in a nice circular shape. I've got quite an angular face, so I was being really careful with this. I didn't want to draw a circle and it turned out like a weird oval shape, so that's why I'm being just so strategic with my placement there. But you just want it to be a circle. Then I'm just carving out random areas of my face, so I did kind of along the sides of my temple up to my forehead, and you don't need to worry about being super neat with the lines in this as long as the outer edge is smooth, because we will be filling it in with black. So just go ahead and do those, and then we can fill those in with some black. I'm using a bigger brush obviously, so it doesn't take me a million bazillion years. So once those black areas are filled in, I decided I would go in with the white and just fill that in all the areas. It's kind of like colouring in, you know, you just go inside the lines and fill it in with white. I just used my finger for a lot of it, so it was faster. And then the areas right up next to my lines, I just used a little fluffy brush to kind of blend it in, and that was the technique I found worked the fastest. Then for the nose, I carved out a little skeleton-like shape. I started it off quite skinny, and then I was like, hang on, if I didn't have a nose, it would be wider than this, so I widened it. And again, I'm just filling that in with the gel eyeliner. And instead of completely filling in these kind of cheek gaunt-like areas with black, I'm actually kind of feathering the black in because I don't want to cover the teeth. I don't want it to look too like pop art kind of looking. I wanted it to kind of gradient in. So I'm taking this grey from the Death Wheel from Nye and just kind of scumbling that face paint over the sparse areas where there's not really any paint yet. And then I'm just working in the black into that. So once that's all done, I decided to go in with a shadow and just make some areas look a little bit more interesting because I felt like the face was still a little bit plain. So I'm just going in with a matte brown eyeshadow and creating some depth around certain hollows of the face. And then I'm just blending that out with some Taupe from NYX, which is just a lighter kind of brown colour, just to make it look a little bit more blended. This obviously isn't very hard, it's just, you know, the same kind of technique as though you were blending eyeshadow on your eyelid. I didn't want to be too ornamental and decorative with the skull because I know there's a lot of kind of controversy around doing sugar skulls, and I myself don't know a whole lot about like Mexican culture and that kind of thing, especially being from New Zealand. So I just based this off an actual skull, like a skull in your head. I thought I'd do one up here since I am going to be covering my eyebrows, just to give the face a little bit more character, and of course taking that big fluffy brush. Then I didn't actually end up using the red, I'm just dusting a bit of that black shadow on the forehead just to give my face some more depth and dimension and shadow. And then I thought it would be cool to add a few little cracks and splinters into the skull just so I look like I'm a bit decayed. So for that I just took a liquid liner because it's just so much easier for me personally to use. Then of course for the eye sockets we've got to fill those in, so I made sure to kind of go backwards and forwards over my eyebrows just to hide any areas of skin, and I didn't go right into the center of my lid. I thought it would be nice to add a little bit of red. I don't know why, it's just a Halloween-y colour and it makes your eyes look like there's still a little bit of blood left in them and you might be bleeding or something like that. You can do all black, or you could actually do some really nice pretty eye makeup. That's why I left the eye sockets blank for so long, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like winged liner and lashes and everything and make it like a glam kind of skull. I do think that would look really cool if you wanted to do that, but I decided to just go more spooky and kind of fill them in. I'm also putting some red in my waterline, as you can see. Then I'm just coating my lashes purely because they're blonde and I wanted to make sure the roots were hidden, so putting a little bit of mascara on. And then of course, as with any Halloween tutorial, especially if your neck is on display in your costume, you don't want to forget the neck. So I just went in again with that white cream colour and did some very easy basic stripes on the neck. You could get really involved and do like an intense skeleton, but I thought this was good enough because I'd already spent long enough on the makeup, so I was like, meh. All you do is draw some horizontal lines and then match it up with some vertical lines. I'm just kind of rounding at the corners of the bones, if you will. And that's all you really need to do. It's just like doing a little table or a graph in school, filling in with the black, and then I just painted the rest of the neck with a black eyeliner, and it kind of just gives that floating head kind of effect. And then because I had a little ornamental headband that I thought would look really pretty to wear, kind of reminded me of like roses on a grave or something, you know, like that kind of thing. I thought I'd do some curls in the front of my hair just because I just felt like it matched better than pin straight hair. I think I also went for red for the eyes because it did match the headband. You could go for any colour like grey or silver or something like that. And then we have the finished look using all makeup. I think it's very effective and of course perfect if you don't have any SFX products. So I hope you guys enjoyed my second Halloween tutorial, my take on a skull. I sort of wanted it to be like hauntingly beautiful, so leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and you're excited for my next videos. Please subscribe if you have not already, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye!